The world has not been the same since 2020. Let's face it. Now, fast forward to 2025, we have tens of thousands of people getting laid off, tariffs being imposed, and food prices that are on the rise that I'm sure are going to go even higher. So while we're growing our own fruits and vegetables, and some people are even raising livestock, it's also important to remember to grow your own medicine.
All those things are a part of why self-sustainability is becoming more and more important, especially in these times that we're in. And like my mother said, self-sustainability is also inclusive of medicinal plants. And so benefits of having medicinal plants, you don't even have to have a whole medicinal herb garden if you're not able to, but at least knowing how to grow it or knowing the benefits of medicinal herbs can carry all of us a long way, because there may become a time where we can't just go on to Walgreens or to a pharmacy to pick up our medicine. And then also, a lot of the times, most medications that you do see on the market today are actually derived from some compounds from plants. But in many cases, some of those synthetic medications that we consume all the time for our health, they can cause a lot of adverse effects that can make our diseases or ailments a little bit more complicated or cause us to have to get even more medications versus the minimized effect of from medicinal plants than when you use the whole plant in and of itself. So those are just a few things that we all can consider and just know of the benefits from growing our own plants, and just at least knowing one plant that we can use for our family, for ourselves, for our friends, for people we know, or even people we don't know if the time ever comes to where you need some kind of medication or food from the earth.
That you can just go out into your yard, on your balcony,
Yeah.
or even inside your home and get.
So in our garden, we have a lot. We mainly grow fruits and vegetables, and we're also growing lots and lots of herbs. And we have a lot of our medicinal herbs in the ground, but just know that you don't have to have a whole in-ground space to grow that. We also grow herbs in a lot of grow bags as well, and little pots that we have, and they grow just as well. So today we're just going to show you some of the herbs. We're going to show you all about 8 herbs, medicinal herbs that we have in our medicinal herb garden in the back, and just why we decide to grow them, some benefits of them, and why we have them for our family. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
All right, y'all. So I'm not going to be a hero, and I'm going to refer back to this book here. This is called the Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine. It has over 560 herbs and remedies for common ailments. And we'll link this book down below. It's a really great and comprehensive book. So first, we're going to start with the first of our 8 herbs. This over here is called marshmallow. Now, this plant we just really had to have. We have 2 of them, and thankfully this is coming back. And so let me look at this book really quickly. So this is an herb that is a mild laxative, and it's also great for helping with inflammation and then other issues of the bowel. If you have any bowel syndromes like irritable bowel syndrome, it can help calm your bowels as well. And it gets its name, marshmallow root, because it was actually in history used to make marshmallows. It's different from the marshmallows that we have today in the store, but a lot of people are going back and creating their own marshmallows with this root of this plant. And so we didn't use the roots of this plant before. We got it last year, but we should be able to use the roots this year, in a second year, and then further in the future as well. And so we'll move on to these plants right here. So we have a lot of mullein, and we got a couple more plants all the way down there that we'll show y'all too. But these are super duper fuzzy plants. They feel fake, honestly. They feel like felt. And these plants have been used a lot for fishing. When they start to flower, they come up and they produce these flowers or seeds that some fishermen use as bait to catch fish. Some areas it is illegal, so you do need to watch out for that. But otherwise, the plant, its roots or its leaves, are used as expectorants. So it calms the throat and allows you to cough up any phlegm that you may have. So it's a great plant if you're using it for coughs or just common colds or anything, if you have any things stuck in your throat as well. So this is a biennial plant, meaning that it just puts out leaves in its first year, and then in its second year it will produce flowers. So this is the second year with us, so it should produce some flowers this year, and then it will die off. So we'll have to produce more, use the seeds and grow more mullein for the following season. And the marshmallow is a perennial plant, so it will come back every year, and we can use its roots, divide it, and then have more plants from it. So let's move on. We are skipping some plants, y'all, but here are just some of the ones that are coming back in full force already. This is wormwood. Now, the wormwood, surprisingly, it seems like a fragile plant, and you would think it would die off in the cold, but it stays strong throughout the whole winter. We have pretty good frost here in Tennessee Zone 7B, and it's still thriving. So wormwood has a lot of different uses that people it's become very notable for. So one of them is that people use them to expel and kill parasites in your digestive system. And it's also great at decreasing inflammation and also just stimulating your digestive system for overall digestion and digestive health as well. So this is a very beautiful plant. It is starting to branch out a bit more and becoming a little wider. And we may also be able to divide it and get multiple plants from it as well if we want to. So you can use this herb, dry it, and put it as a tea or a tincture or something if you need to detoxify or cleanse your digestive system and make sure that you're expelling anything like parasites from your system to encourage a healthier bodily function and digestion. Okay, now we're going to move on down here to some of our beautiful herbs that get a lot more sun back here in our perennial herb garden. So let's go on. All right, so these are the other two mullein plants that we have. Now, these are way bigger than the ones down there, possibly because they're getting a little bit more sun down here as well. So they were laying flat. They also didn't die back in the winter. We had some snow on multiple days, and they just kept on pushing. They did not die back at all, and they were laying flat. But now that we've come out here after it's been raining for a couple of days, the leaves have started to come up some, so it looks like they will begin flowering pretty soon whenever it starts to get much warmer outside consistently. So we'll be expecting some tall flowers. They do get kind of tall, and they produce yellow flowers with the seeds. So that's what we'll be expecting later on in the season. Now let's move on to something that's really cool over here. Now this area is goldenrod. Now you can barely see it because we did mulch it with some leaves, but all of these little plants right here, these are goldenrods. We only planted one goldenrod plant right here, and it dropped a bunch of seeds, most likely because most goldenrod varieties don't spread by their rhizomes or underground. Some do, but I don't think our variety does. But it did produce a lot of seeds that they just blew off. So this is what we see here. And goldenrod, refer back to my reference. Goldenrod is said to be great for flushing out the kidney and bladder stones, and it's also great for conditions with the sore throat or chronic nasal conditions. So anything that involves some colds and coughs, it's great for that. It can be used externally as mouthwashes or douches for thrush, and it's also been used in ancient times or just traditionally for urinary tract infections or disorders as well. And then something else that is also great for urinary diseases is motherwort. So motherwort right here, this plant also decided to keep on trucking during the winter, and it just got bigger and better. So this plant is also great for calming urinary diseases as well, or disorders or infections, as well as helping with some issues that are pertain to women and feminine health. So if you have premenstrual cramps or premenstrual diseases or pain through your menstrual cycle, this plant is one of those plants that have been great for women's overall health as well. So we have a lot of women in our family, so we had to make sure that we got something that can help us as well as we, in our development. And let's cycle back to this plant right here. We planted 2 of these, and they decided to act like it was 10 plants. This right here is nettle. nettle decided to spread everywhere it can spread. Even it's about to go through the fence.
So it's a good thing that the neighbor next door is actually our uncle. So maybe he won't mind as much.
He'll be all right. So this nettle has a lot of great benefits. It's firstly packed full of iron, which is one of those nutrients that you need to, like if you have anemia or any blood condition that results from the lack of iron, this would be a great herb to help increase your iron intake. And then if you use a lot of hair products, you may look on the back of the bottle and see that nettle may be one of those ingredients that you may find, because it's also great at stimulating hair growth and having a great positive effect on the overall health of your scalp and hair as well. So it's a plant that a lot of people use for making teas. You may have heard of nettle tea, or just cooking it down like spinach as well. So we want to use some of that for our family as well, for our hair, for our food, and our overall health. And then we're going to go to the last plant over here. This is called white horehound. So this plant right here, and I begged my mom to get it because it's just a great plant that a lot of people use. A lot of the times people would use this for making things like cough drops or candy, or sometimes even cough syrup, because it has a great flavor. It also smells really good too. And it's great for soothing the throat. So consider growing white horehound as well if you are interested in using some plants that would be great for just those common colds that you may get seasonally. And I forgot to hit up this plant right here. This is a great plant that some people may pass up. This is called valerian. Now, valerian is a plant that is traditionally used to help with improving overall sleep conditions. It also helps with easing anxiety and stress related issues. So some people have even said in studies that it helps induce some dreams or help them with their insomnia as well. So just overall in our perennial herb garden, we have a lot of variety here. And if you are considering growing some medicinal plants, not necessarily a garden, but plants, make sure that you are having some variety in what you choose. We have things for coughs and colds. We have things for feminine health, for dreams and sleep issues, anxiety, stress. Make sure that you have a lot of diversity that can help a variety of ailments that you may come across.
Here are a couple of medicinals we have growing in grow bags. Now they look a little rough, but we're gonna clean them up. This one right here is St. John's wort, and this one right here is feverfew.
So staying on the feverfew, this is also a perennial plant that is pretty green down here, so it is coming back in full force as well. This plant we had to have because it's also used for, by the name feverfew, it's been used for sickness, and then a lot of people use them for treating migraines as well. And then looking in my handy dandy book, it has also been used for to induce menstruation as well. And in given in childbirth, it aids expulsion of the placenta as well, used in ancient Roman times. And so arthritis and migraines, fevers, this plant has a very well-rounded benefits for the person. And the St. John's wort, this plant will produce yellow flowers. It's also a perennial plant that is used for your nerves and affecting your mood. It's anti-anxiety, anti-depression herb as well. And it can also be used for lowering the mood that you may have during menopause. So if you're going through menopause, or you know somebody going through menopause, it may help improve their mood if they have any, irregular disposition during that period of time that they have. And it's also great for wound healing or tissue healing as well. So those are just some of the benefits that we have with some of our medicinal herbs. And then if I didn't mention it before, all of our medicinal herbs that we talked about today are perennials, so they will come back again and again and again. And that's another benefit of growing your own medicinal plants, because that's medicine that will continue to grow for you over and over and over again, and you just preserve them and use them as you see fit. Now, we do want to say that you do want to make sure that you consult a physician or someone that is well versed in plant medicine so that you are not going in blindly to using your own medication or your own medicinal herbs. Make sure that you do a lot of research yourself and dive deep into all of the contraindications or adverse effects that may arise from using medicinal plants. And if you are using it with other synthetic medications, it could pose some different interactions that may be adverse. So just do your research and consult others that have a little bit more information on these plants. But don't stray away from using medications because you never know when you may use these plants for your medicine.
So instead of 8 things, I guess we did show y'all 10 medicinal herbs that we're growing. Now, we're just beginners. We planted our medicinal herb garden last year, so we're not experts. We are on a journey. This is really a journey.
Yeah, and we just hope that you all will, like we've considered growing some medicinal plants, that this also serves as some kind of inspiration or encouragement for you all to even consider growing at least one medicinal plant and learning about them, because it is becoming important, in our belief, important to have at least the knowledge of what medicinal plants are and what medicinal plants are available for our usage, especially depending on what ailments that you or someone else may have in our lives. And so those are just some of the medicinal herbs that we showed you that we do have. And we will, as the season continues on, when they start to bloom and blossom, because we expect an even better looking medicinal herb area this year, we want to show y'all what they are looking like and then dive even deeper into some of our other plants and even some of the plants that we showed y'all today. Dive even deeper on those benefits, those other benefits, and the ways that we hope to use them and the ways that they are traditionally used for healing purposes. And we'll show that more when the season continues, things start to come out more, and we just hope that you all join us on this journey as well, and even start your own journey at growing medicinal herbs. So we hope that you all found this video very informative and enjoyable, and until next time,
don't forget to like, comment, subscribe,
share,
and as always, plant to
live.
See y'all.